Alright, welcome everyone. My name's Tori. I'm here with Miss Thumper Soaps, and this is the making of my unicorn trash soap. Unicorn trash is just pretty much a confetti soap, which I had never done before, but didn't think it would be too difficult. So I took the opportunity to actually experiment with a couple of things. As you can see here, I'm actually doing two separate things of water, and that's because this small glass container here will actually have sugar in it. And I did it separately because I'm accounting for the fact that I'm adding extra water, but I'm not adding extra water, I'm just subtracting the two so I can get the difference. And I'm just usually using regular old granulated sugar, and I'm just going to stir that in and let that be set aside for the time being. And now I'm just measuring out my lye flakes. I make sure to measure out my lye separately from the water. Some people like to pour their lye directly into the water sometimes as they measure it. I'm not that skilled. I'm way too scared of adding a little too much in. Once you've added too much lye, there's really no going back. You pretty much just gotta try to safely get rid of that. And I don't want to deal with that headache. So going to put my lye into my water. Of course, you never do the opposite. Stirring here, I usually lean very hard back when I stir this because the fumes will hit my face. Despite the fact that I have goggles and a mask on, it still bothers me. And then here are my oils. This is just from Brambleberry. It's their swirl quick mix. I've been experimenting with it and it's been really useful. Once everything is said and done with this pandemic COVID stuff, I think I'm going to start experimenting more with recipes. And here, setting it up to add my activated charcoal and get that nice Instagram story pit, as you can see here, and holding it back and putting that in there. Kind of wish Instagram had a feature where you can lock record like Snapchat does. That would be super convenient. Oh well. And here, you can just see that the temperature of my oils is about room temperature. It's a little warmer than room temperature, but 77 degrees. I like to keep my soap room a little warm. And then my lye water is almost 150, so that's gotta wait. I actually put up a cat tree in the interim. 88 degrees, 92 degrees, they're within 4 degrees of each other, and I don't actually show it here, but when I put my sugar in there, I saw that it jumped up about 5 degrees, so it was almost a 10-degree difference, so I had to wait another minute. But it didn't take long for it to go down, and you can see that I'm adding it in here. So, setting aside things to get clean. And while I'm mixing this, I'll give you guys a tip that I learned. Whenever I set aside my lye stuff that I'm not using anymore, I actually spray it down with distilled vinegar. Adding in my fragrance, this is Moonchild from Brambleberry. It was a really nice fragrance that complemented all of the fragrances that were actually in the confetti pieces of the soap. That was my elemental series, and they all kind of had this nice natural scent, and then Moonchild really complemented that. And then I'm just adding in my little flakes of confetti. As you can see, there's really no rhyme or reason to the color palette. That's why I chose to do it in black. I kind of wonder now what it would have looked like if I had done it in white. Because when it came out, it wasn't quite what I expected it to be. I also wasn't sure what to expect. And I wasn't sure how much of the confetti I was actually going to be able to put into here. I ended up putting all of it in. But, you know, once you add too much, you can't go back. So I added in little by little just to see, and you know, was able to add it all in. Now, when I measured out my oils for this and my lye and everything, I measured out for this exact mold, but I also knew I had to account for the fact that the confetti essentially was going to displace a lot of that soap batter. I wasn't sure how much soap batter, so I had like one of these extra molds and plus a tall mold left over. I ended up using half of the tall mold. So it displaced it, but not that much, surprisingly. So I'm adding glitter, and I never learned because I've added glitter plenty of times to my soap because I love glitter. And I always just want to use that shaker. The holes are way too big. And I'm going back to my tried and true method of just using this little fan brush. I just got this fan brush. It's an artist loft brush. It's a you know, one of the lower and cheap end things that you can get at Michael's. And of course, again, I should know better, but just load it up, tap it once in your container, and then several taps. I wanted this to be a light sprinkle, but the moment I used that shaker, it just, you know, I was like, well, we're doing full coverage, holographic here. And this is holographic eco glitter from Brambleberry. So, you know, no fish were harmed in the making of this soap. I also wanted to try what it would be like to put a mica line in a confetti soap. I just let you know right now that the mica line didn't appear at all, but that's okay. So, here we go, doing that. The reason why I'm showing this part is because, again, it's an experiment, and I just want to talk a little bit about this duster here, because I've never used that before either, and it is nice. Learning curve, though, which is why I'm glad I took the opportunity to use it on this particular mold, because this ended up being little square sample bars that I'm going to just send out to people whenever they buy something. Like, here you go, here's some unicorn trash. Cleaning up, because it makes me feel better. It's not like it makes a difference. Probably could save paper towels if I didn't do that. It's okay. Tap, tap. And again, learning curve with this. I finally got a rhythm with it. Basically, tap it once or twice, spray it, tap it once or twice, spray it a few times, and you'll get like a nice poof without everything else go out into the air. So, and again, sprinkling. Learning from my mistakes before, because I only wanted a light sprinkle on top of this lavender on top of the black, which is very pretty. I do want to see like a light pink mica top with a light scattering of holographic glitter on a white soap, so that's probably where I'm gonna go. And then here it is, just the top of this soap here, the little sample bars. I love the purple in the holographic glitter. And then, you know, as Christine from Simply Nailogical would say, a hollow top coat literally just on this entire soap. So, and next up is going to be the cutting, and I put this in just regular regular speed here. Yeah, the soap, for one, was surprisingly well behaved. The sugar should have accelerated, the fragrance oil should have accelerated, but I used a slightly bit of extra water on purpose. For one, I wanted to see how it would handle. Two, I was actually trying to force glycerin rivers because I got some happy accident glycerin rivers in my last soap. They're very, very faint and little, but it created this really pretty effect that I was trying to go for. And I was like, well, what makes glycerin rivers? And so I added a little bit of extra water. I can tell you right now that the glycerin rivers did not happen. All it did was just make some for really soft soap for, you know, cutting, which was kind of nice because the flakes on the inside are essentially super hard. And I didn't really hold up any of the sample bars here, so I just show that I'm cutting them a little bit, and you'll get to see a picture at the end. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the soap. It was a learning process for me. It smells really nice, and, you know, it'll do the job. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. See you next time.